military is setting up a new base and promises to find her there later. The call is cut short when young Ju's phone dies. While the soldiers continue to shoot the zombies that keep reaching the lounge, they find Chef Paolo hiding in the kitchen. Then they finally sit to have a meal, ignoring Paolo when he writes down the charges for later. The team leader returns to the kitchen to grab a drink and finds a zombie in the vent. The group hears a noise and turns around to find the zombie coming after them. But since it's missing half of its body, it's easy to shoot it down. Unfortunately, the soldier comes back from the kitchen transformed into a zombie, and since it has a bite on its nose, they conclude that the closer the bite is to the brain, the faster the transformation. The young man steps forward and cries as he shoots his now zombified friend to kill him. In the parking lot, Sam Soo gets the hang of driving and runs over the zombies surrounding the booth to save his friends. Jin-wook takes over the wheel to leave the building and drives like a maniac to run over every single zombie he sees, just to deal with his frustration. When the others calm him down, Jin-wook announces they'll stop at his mother's hospital first so young Ju can get medical attention for her injuries. Sam Soo tells them to leave without him because he hates hospitals. However, he's hiding signs of the incoming zombification. After the car leaves, Sam Soo starts fighting the zombies, but he freezes when his body starts to transform. Since everyone is trying to reach the shelter, the traffic jam makes the trip very slow. While the duo waits, some hooligans break the windows and drag young Ju and Jin-wook out to steal the vehicle. They have no choice but to take the subway, and they find the station as crowded as the streets. When the train arrives, everyone goes so crazy that young Ju and Jin-wook are pulled apart. In the chaos, people push too hard against the safety glass and crack it, causing some passengers to fall on the rails and be run over by the train. Most of the crowd manages to get into the train, including young Ju, who decides to give her spot to an innocent child and comforts the grandmother as the train leaves the station. Unfortunately, she notices that a massacre is starting in one of the cars, meaning everyone aboard is doomed. To make matters worse, young Ju finds Jin-wook's watch and the blood on the tracks. Then the grandmother takes out a knife and jumps on the tracks to go after her grandson. Young Ju follows her while another train reaches the station and helps her get off the rails, only to realize the old lady was bitten. As the train leaves the station in front of them, the woman transforms into a zombie and tries to attack. Young Ju has no choice but to push her head against the train to kill her. Crying over this traumatic experience, young Ju starts hearing her mother's voice and follows it to find a door to a restricted area. Inside, there are some zombies, but she easily avoids them as she continues to follow the voice that takes her to an office where she can charge her phone. There's a first aid kit that she uses to take care of her wounds, some snacks from the employees, and even a chainsaw. It's not working, but young Ju uses her engineering degree to fix it. After putting on some protective gear, she leaves the room and is attacked by zombies, so she starts killing them with her new weapon. Unfortunately, there are too many of them, so she starts running, entering a narrow passage to force them into a line. She starts killing them without mercy while hallucinating that they're talking to her. Eventually, she finds an opening and runs through the area until she can hide in the emergency stairs where she falls asleep. In the meantime, on another high floor in the building, it's revealed that Aaron is still alive because he's been hiding in a room after barricading the door with furniture. He hears about evacuation plans on the news and decides to leave, but first he protects his body with sofa cushions. Aaron keeps drinking a lot while making his way down the corridors to be brave. When he finds a huge stapler, he begins using it as a weapon to quickly kill zombies. At the lounge, young man realizes he's the man with the highest rank and therefore the new team leader. After giving Paolo a weapon, the group takes the VIP elevator and moves to the next floor, where they're shocked to find Aaron. Soo-jung is happy to see him, but the soldiers stop her from welcoming her friend when they notice a wound on Aaron's leg. He confirms he was hurt by a zombie, and an argument ensues over what to do with him. Aaron tells them he understands and that they should leave without him. Suddenly they hear some noises above and notice blood falling on the elevator's glass ceiling. The group gets out of the elevator right before the glass breaks and the zombies burst in. Everyone starts running as fast as possible and hiding in any empty room they can find while Aaron keeps on fighting the zombies with his stapler. When he realizes he's being left behind, he bangs on the doors and is ignored. The zombies soon surround him, and he gets ready for the worst, but he's not attacked. He knocks on a door and shows a pair of soldiers how he can grab a zombie without consequences. In one of the rooms, Ga Young asks Soo-jung out, and she agrees to a date after all this is over. In another room, the soldiers find the vents. At that moment, they get a video call from Aaron, who is chilling with the zombies and confirms the vents will get them out. While the soldiers make the vent holes bigger, Aaron goes first to draw arrows that will guide the group to the exit. One by one, the soldiers enter the vents and crawl through them until they reunite with Aaron. Ga Young and Soo-jung are moving together when suddenly a zombie falls on top of Ga Young. Soo-jung immediately stabs the creature in the head to kill it, but there's also a zombie horde approaching them from the back. The duo crawls as fast as possible while watching the zombies trying to move at the same time, which gets them stuck in the narrow passage. Eventually, they bump into Young Man and Kyung-sik, so they keep on moving together. However, after a few turns, they discover they've reached a dead end. When the zombies get too close, Kyung-sik opens fire to kill all of them. The shots are heard by the other half of the group, and Jae-yoon wants to help, but the others stop him because it's too dangerous. Paolo panics and rushes ahead on his own. However, a zombie jumps on him and bites his ear off. Kyung-sik quickly shoots the zombie before the group decides what to do with Paolo. They hold him on the edge of the vent pit to try to give him alcohol. At that moment, Paolo transforms, so they push him to his death. Soon another horde of zombies arrives, and everyone gets ready to fight with almost no ammo left. Thankfully, Aaron gets an idea. He turns on 2 walkie-talkies at a very high frequency, and the zombies immediately follow the noise. Since Aaron is drunk, they move past him and fall right into the pit. Back to Young-ju, she enters a room full of fog and is excited to find Jae-yoon, but he suddenly starts transforming into a zombie. He asks Young-ju to end it, so she's forced to defend herself. At that moment, she wakes up from this nightmare and continues searching for an exit. She manages to return to the station and follows a mysterious song until she finds a room where survivors are hiding. There's also a famous singer there, which means this is another hallucination. While listening to the man sing, Young-ju looks at old pictures on her phone. She remembers the day she went camping with Jae-yoon and how he said that he'd understand if she broke up with him while he was in the army because her happiness mattered most to him. Now she's more determined to find him, so she gathers some supplies and leaves, using a scooter to dodge all the zombie attacks. Unfortunately, the front gate is closed, and the creatures corner her from behind, so she has to use the chainsaw again. After lots of wandering, she finds the train tracks and starts following them, hoping to find the station Jae-yoon told her about. When she discovers a train, she sees the zombies inside and tries to ignore it, but she freezes when she sees a man leaving a car ahead. The guy calls his friends to make them come out of hiding, and they throw an object at Young-ju's head to make her fall. They steal the chainsaw and decide they must kill her just in case, so Young-ju pushes them off and begins running while the men chase her. Back to the team, once everyone has reunited, they start descending by using the stairs on the pit. Eventually, they find another vent that takes them to a safe room. The guys discover Soo-jung was grazed by a bullet and scold Kyung-sik for opening fire in a confined space. This makes Kyung-sik snap, and he goes on a rant, pointing out this isn't the real army anymore. They're just a group of people trying to survive, and protocols don't matter. When he gets punched for his attitude, he points his gun at his friends, only to put it down when Soo-jung threatens him in return. Aaron thinks they should take the cargo elevator, but they discover it's broken. There's a second one hanging outside the window a few floors down, and Jae-yoon is sent to retrieve it. While continuously panicking, he climbs down the rope and falls right into the elevator. He's horrified to notice the state of the city and even cries a bit. Afterward, he activates the elevator and goes up to pick up his friends. Now everyone starts descending together, and they think they're finally going to escape. Unfortunately, the elevator gets stuck right in front of a window, and the zombies see them, so they start pounding on the glass to try to reach them. Jae-yoon desperately punches the elevator's control box and gets it to move again, but at the same time, the zombies finish breaking the window and jump out. A vicious battle begins as the team tries their best to defend themselves. The zombies are holding on to the elevator base, and the rope won't stand the weight much longer. After lots of struggling, the group manages to push all the zombies off, but it's too late. A rope is already broken. Thankfully, the elevator swings into a window and lands inside, so everyone gets out except for Jae-yoon. At that moment, the other rope also breaks, and the elevator falls for several floors until Jae-yoon crashes into a store with teddy bears, which cushions his landing. The elevator keeps going and lands on a car on the street. However, the team thinks Jae-yoon is dead, and while everyone mourns, young man hides a bite on his arm. In-ho wants to retrieve the body in case his friend is alive, but Kyung-sik thinks it's a dangerous waste of time and leaves alone. When he reaches the corridor, he finds a horde of zombies. In the toy store, Jae-yoon wakes up when a zombie wearing a teddy suit tries to attack him, not to mention all the zombies waiting outside the locked doors. He easily pushes the creature off, and seeing it struggle inside the suit gives him an idea. First, he throws the zombie through the window and confirms the suit protects the user from the fall. Then he puts on a suit himself and jumps to finally escape. He lands safely on the street, and when he looks around, he notices some former soldiers are part of the horde now. Suddenly, zombies begin falling around him, and Jae-yoon looks up to discover that the team is throwing them out the window. Everyone is fighting like crazy while trying to keep the zombies behind the doors. When they see Jae-yoon, they get excited and communicate through walkie-talkies to make a plan. There are a bunch of abandoned mattresses nearby, so Jae-yoon creates a safe landing spot while the team uses the elevator rope to make a zipline. Using their vests, the team slides down the zipline one by one until only young man is left. He then reveals his bite wound and tells everyone to leave without him as his last order. The group searches all the cars until they find one with keys and take off, leaving Kyung-sik behind. When young man transforms and falls off the building, Kyung-sik shoots him while crying and thinking about all the times young man helped him. Meanwhile, Young-ju finds an empty train car to hide in. The men are still coming after her, so she begins running through a bunch of cars until she finds the way blocked by zombies. She quickly hides in the luggage rack so that when the men reach her car, they go face to face with the monsters. While the zombies and the men fight each other, Young-ju leaves the train and returns to the tracks. There she's found by a female train attendant who guides her through a bloodied hallway full of decapitated bodies. She explains that the men chasing her did it before inviting her to hide together in an office room. Young-ju puts a clock's batteries into the landline phone and calls her mother, but they don't talk for long to avoid being heard by the zombies or the men. In town, the team is having trouble finding a street that isn't blocked by abandoned cars. At that moment, Aaron announces he's sobering up, so the team takes him to a restaurant where he can drink lots of alcohol again to stay immune. While the others get some snacks, Jae-yoon finds a phone and tries calling Young-ju, but she has no signal. Next, he calls her mother, who tells him where to find Young-ju. When the group sees a zombie child outside, In-ho cries as he thinks of his own children. Determined to find Young-ju, Jae-yoon tells the group to leave without him and go see their loved ones. The team takes the car, and Jae-yoon steals a delivery bike from the restaurant. Eventually, he reaches the station and goes inside only to find the gate closed. He doesn't hesitate to break it down to get further inside, but all the noise gets the attention of some zombies who are keeping a curtain up with some luggage. Jae-yoon kicks them off and pushes the luggage to let the curtain close properly. Meanwhile, the train attendant tells Young-ju to wait while she goes out to search for an exit. At that moment, Young-ju hears her boyfriend calling her name, and she yells back to confirm her presence. Jae-yoon follows the sound while shooting or kicking every zombie that tries to stop him. There are too many of them though, so soon he's totally surrounded. Young-ju is also running around and thinks she finds Jae-yoon at the end of a corridor. However, it's a hallucination, and a closer look reveals this is a random zombie soldier. He gets ready to attack but is suddenly killed by a shot from Jae-yoon. As soon as the couple locks eyes, Jae-yoon runs to Young-ju and removes an eyeball from her neck before embracing her in tears. Afterward, they try to leave, only to find more zombies in the way. Before they can react, Aaron and the rest of the team show up and quickly bring the horde down. They explain it's safer to move in a group, so now that the couple has reunited, they can visit their families one by one. Before leaving, Young-ju asks them to rescue the woman who helped her, but the team can't find anyone around. In private, In-ho shows Jae-yoon that he found a body matching the description Young-ju gave them, and it even has the same name tag. It's been dead for 10 hours, which may mean Young-ju was behind the massacre in the corridor, not the men. They don't tell Young-ju the truth, and the group finally leaves the station. As they drive to the city, they see all the destruction and the zombies wandering around. Young-ju gives Jae-yoon the cassette she took from the bar, while a flash on the screen reveals that she killed 59 zombies. but Jae Yoon only killed 9.